who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like this and I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL. When things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this episode of the Coma, man. It's a Monday stream, Monday night, man. We up in this thing. Appreciate the fam for chiming in, man. Shout out to the fam, man. And this one here, fam, this was the recap stream from Sunday's noontime game of destruction, of the demolition, just the utter annihilation, the dispatchment of the Carolina Panthers nation, man. You should have seen the reactions from some of the family members out there, man. Some of the Panther Nation people are highly upset, and rightfully so, man. Their team did not come to play. They really didn't. They were awful. They did a disservice to their squads. And right now, boy, oh boy, Carolina, man, are looking at themselves. And I'm telling you, man, the Saints looked really good. Now let's see if we can channel this and move it ahead in week number 2 against a much more difficult opponent, but very positive. I love every bit of what I seen yesterday from our black and gold Saints. They did it. It is one of many weeks that we got to keep this high level of play going. All right. So big ups to the fam. Appreciate all y'all for being in the stream. A big ups to everybody. Brother Brandon, good to see you, man. Says Saints going to beat the brakes off the Cowgirls. All right. Shout out to Cameron. Poppy 504, how you doing, fam? Appreciate you. Rudy, what's up, fam? Yeah, all right. All right. What's up, Catherine? Big ups to you. Good to see you. All right, Dr. Gardner's in this. Yes, indeed. What's up, Rod? Big ups to you, man. I think, the player of the game. Thank you, Rod. Yes, the player of the game. I was rushing getting it done, man. I was doing 2 or 3 things at the same time when I was doing it. And you know how you do sometimes. But yes, I think most of you get it. Is who's the player? Who of the 4 people in the poll that's in the chat right now would you consider, if you had to pick one of those 4, who would it be to be the player of the game against I said Saints versus Cowboys. Good Lord. I mean, I said the Panthers. Oh my goodness, y'all know I was doing too much. All right. But anyway, yeah, it's not Saints the player of the game. So I'm already getting us ready for a win. Obviously, bye-bye, right? I'm getting us ready for a win right now against the Cowboys. So anyway, but yeah, the poll question, man, for the family members is who was the player of the game versus the Panthers? I'm already looking ahead, as y'all can see. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So big ups to the fam. Quavadius, Gundam, big ups to you, man. Good to see you. Eternal, brother Pat Rich, OG Jerry. Good to see y'all in there as well. Nola gang, what's happening, fam? All right. Let's see. Who else we got? Warrior. What's happening, fam? Good to see you. All right. No. Who else we got? Okay. My opinion says, what about DC4? DC4 did okay, bro. He did really good, bro. 3 touchdowns. He did good, man. He did good, man. That's what we expect out of Derek Carr. Derek Carr has weapons. He did a wonderful job. He was operating really well with the Saints offense. He was relaxed and having fun. Don't forget, don't just give Derek Carr credit. Give that running game credit as well. The running game had 180 yards rushing. Derek had 200 with 3 touchdowns. But don't forget, a lot of this is happening because the running attack is flowing. When the running attack goes, so does the Saints offense, and Derek Carr flows along with it. That's what happens when you have a running attack that put up almost 200 yards. It takes pressure off our quarterback. So Derek Carr did a wonderful job. I never said Derek Carr wasn't the guy. I don't know what you guys are thinking, like Derek Carr is trash. I said Derek Carr, without Derek Carr, the Saints are not a playoff team this year. I've always said that. But my criticism of Carr is he has to keep doing it. Let's get $150 million worth of these type of games. Yes. Let's get 100. Can we get $150 million worth of these type of games? I'm for that. Yeah, big ups to you, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, K-Man, big ups to you, man. All right. Shout out. All right. Nola say you can't hear anything. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear, man. I think I think we good. Yeah, I think something going on with you, Nola. Refresh yourself, bro. All right. The Warrior said the Saints beat the Cowboys. Fasten your seatbelts because Saints will definitely get into the playoffs, probably shut out some teams. LOL. Let's pump the brakes, bro. Let's do this one game at a time thing, bro. We don't want to get too too gone too fast. All right. Ronnie says Derek looked good for not yet sold on him. Have to see more against a formidable opponent. Indeed. Perspective, family. Don't let these people, because you beat one team, beat a team that really didn't come to play. They were struggling. Now, credit the Saints hammered them because they were supposed to. But at the same time, listen, man, we got to keep doing this. It was a great game. But we got another opponent that we got to do this to next week. We got too many games to be getting all stuck into Super Bowl talk, man. I've been in this game for a long time, man. I don't know how long y'all been watching football, but I know that 1 week don't put you in the Super Bowl. You got to keep winning. So let's just keep that. Let's pump them brakes, man. Pump them damn brakes, man. All right. Charlie said, whoa, what's happening, family? Big ups to you. Who that daddy? Big ups to you, man. He says, yeah, family, y'all hurry up and come up here to Dallas and help me out with these Cow fans. They're trying to harass me now, brother. We're going to beat the brakes off them Cowboys next week, and that'll make them go all the way down. But I credit to Dallas, man. Dallas is going to be a good opponent. They beat Cleveland last week. So, like I said, everything is good. Okay, my opinion says Derek Carr is a really good QB. Okay, yeah, that's cool, bro. I respect your opinion, man. I respect it. Cardell, what's happening, fam? Who that from Minneapolis? All right, good to see you, brother Cardell. All right, Gundam said Penning destroyed Carolina edge that sprung come out for a nice game. Yes. Yeah, we was watching the tape on that. I have the film breakdown for the Patreon and our YouTube membership family. That'll be coming up later this week, where we just go over it. I think it'll be on Thursday night. That'll be available for our Patreon family. We have the Patreon show tomorrow, and then that'll be news, and then the film segment will be on Thursday. That'll be available for the family members to see as well. All right, Trapstar, good. Thank you, man. Okay, good. Nola game. Okay, glad you heard it, fam. All right, yeah. Trevor Penning was good. That's what he found. This is one step at a time, fam. Eugene says, "Who that from South Philly?" Big Q didn't even mind hearing DA say, "Hey, look," or "Yeah." Yeah, see, it's adaptable when you're winning. Nobody wants to hear all of that gobbledygook when you're not winning. You got to win. That justifies you keeping your job. That's how competitive it is in the NFL. And we know that when they say we'll take the job, you got to do it. Pammy says, yes, that was a pop quiz Sunday, but the pop quiz, okay. All right, Pammy, all right, using a little teacher lingo right there, but the next 4 to 5 will tell the story. I'm very encouraged. I'm encouraged. I like what I seen. I really do. But like I said, I want to see more of this, fam, for real, man. Because like I said, we have the talent. It has not been a talent thing. It's always have been. It's always have just been about getting the talent on the same page. That's what it's been about. That's what I've been saying. The Saints are not void of talent. They've always had the talent. They have elite level talent. They need to get everybody on the same page every week. That's what it comes down to, right? Check. All right, what's up, brother Greg? How you doing, fam? K-Man says, I want to see Kendre Miller back healthy in the system. In time, bro. We're going to get him back, bro. We're going to get back. All right. Big ups to everybody, man. Okay, Rudy says, hey, Q, he says, okay, let me see. Rudy says, I know that we're having a great time, but we can get a moment of silence for passing of the great James Earl Jones. Indeed, fam. Let's say a quick stop for a quick second for James Earl Jones. I seen that pass across my feed. A lot of people know James Earl Jones from many different things. I seen probably most of all of his movies. I remember him from the first Conan movie when he was the evil sorcerer. Y'all remember that when he had that wig on? He did so much stuff with sitcoms, all that kind of stuff. Didn't he play Jack Johnson in the Jack Johnson movie? Wasn't that James Earl Jones? And then his most famous role was the voice of Darth Vader. How about that? Not too bad for him. And plus, he was the Prince of Zamunda's father, King Jaffe Jafar. Great person, great man. And yes, we'll give a quick moment of silence for James Earl Jones. All right. Yes, James Earl Jones. Thank you, Rudy. All right. Big ups to the fam, man. Step in the right directions indeed. 504 Coast says healthy Kendre and offense would be a serious problem. Yes, indeed. All right, indeed, man. All right, Crusher. Shout out to you, brother Crusher. Yeah, it's so many great roles, Eugene. Yeah, Darth Vader, Jaffe Jafar, Terrence Mann. He says Tulsa. Yes. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, so many things, man. So many things, Professor. Yeah, all these things. Was that the name of him in Conan? Balthasar? Was he King Balthasar? It was just so many roles, not to mention different little sitcom things that he did too prior to that. And I even remember the Jack Johnson. Y'all remember when he played Jack Johnson? Yeah, he was in the Jack Johnson. He played Jack Johnson in the Jack Johnson movie. Yeah, that was pretty awesome too. So yeah, man. Yeah, y'all remember Philip? Philip said he remember him in Conan. He said that was the first one he seen. I know, man. That's right. Oh, who that? He was the voice of CNN. This is CNN. Yeah, that was James Earl Jones too. Man, he gone, man. Yeah, Eugene said, yeah, he was Tulsa Doom in Conan. Big Q. Okay, thank you, bro. Yeah, the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King. That's right. Damn, I didn't know that. See, and it's a bunch more when you read his credits, man. He'll be like, damn, he was in that. He did this. Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, Shazam. Yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah, man, awesome player. So awesome player. I mean, person, period, man. James Earl Jones, man. So accomplished. All right, man. Let's kind of move into the Saints talk right now. 47-10, the Saints got the victory over the Carolina Panthers. We know about all of the great play. Derek Carr was 19-23 for 200 yards, very modest 200 yards, but it was how the game looked for Derek Carr. Really, if you look at the film, I had a chance to look at some of the film, and really Derek Carr really didn't make too many mistakes. One mistake, like he held the ball a little longer, but outside of that, he was pretty solid, damn near perfect in that matchup last week. And then we talk about how comfortable he was as he was healthy, throwing the ball, seeing the field, making throws outside of the pocket. And I swear, man, if you go back and watch the film on that first touchdown throw that Derek Carr threw, the big thing when he first came out, I was like, man, this guy has a gun. And we got talent that can run. If he throws it out there, they can run up under it and go and get it. And that the first touchdown was that play. when he didn't even rear back and throw the ball. He really didn't. Almost threw it like he was leaning back flat footed, like he stepped and threw it, but he didn't really cock back and throw it. You know what I mean? Like really push the ball. And when he did that, you know, he almost overthrew him, and Rashid Shaheed had to run up under it with his fingertips to get it. And him doing that threw him off balance, and he tumbled into the end zone. But Carr had such an arm, such a gun, that he almost outthrew Rashid Shaheed, and Rashid has a rocket on his back. When that happened, I was like, yeah, that was a punch in the face. But there's other throws too. That throw is a throw that Derek Carr can make. But it's the other throws that showed people that he got some touch too and some accuracy. The throw to Juwan Johnson on the sideline, where he placed the ball where he needed to be, right where only Juwan Johnson can get it, and Juwan was able to get both feet down for the touchdown. The toss to Foster Moreau in the center of the end zone on another touchdown play, when he was scrambling outside of the pocket and directed Foster Moreau to where he wanted them to, then put enough zip on the ball where he was able to not only throw the ball over a defender where he couldn't get it, but put enough zip on it where the defender, it was over another defender there, and then one was closing in to try to knock the ball away, and enough zip on it to get to Foster in the center of the end zone. So yeah, he was doing his thing yesterday. And also, like I said, I don't want to leave out the fact that we watched our running attack accrue 180 yards worth of running attack to go along with Derek Carr's 200 yards throwing. That was phenomenal. And then we talk about all that, fam, and then you won't talk about, this is what a balanced team looked like, because what do you mean balanced, Q? Well, hell, the Saints had in this game, man, listen, they had 37 rush attempts and 24 passing attempts. Now, I kind of got a little, just all they was doing was just trying to run the ball. But when the game was, when they were actually running the offense with Carr before they switched it out and put Hayner in there, the offense, you could see the rushing attempts and passing attempts were right near each other. So they had a great balance going on. And remember also, the Saints averaged 5 yards a rush yesterday. They averaged 5 yards a rush. That's 2 rushes, first down, 2 rushes, first down, 2 rushes. Y'all know the old song. Y'all, I think I still got that shirt in the merch store. 2 rushes, first down, 2 rushes. And that's what we average. You average 5 yards a carry. That's 2 rushes, first down. That's what the Saints did. And they were doing a damn thing. Plus, the real phenomenal statistic out of all those great stats was the Saints were 4-4-4 in the red zone. 4-4-4 in the red zone. That was a great stat. That was a terrific stat. Love that. So yes, indeed, our team, and then not only that, the turnovers, were we able to get interceptions, fumbles, whatever we did, we got sacks, we got it all. We had it all yesterday, and almost had a 50 burger. I wanted a 50 burger. They kind of turned it down later on in the fourth quarter. I knew they would, but in the end, man, the Saints did a wonderful job doing what they were supposed to do, and I'm very proud of the win, man. No doubt about it, man. I love what happened there. But yes, let's go a little deeper, man. Let's kind of look at some of it. And like I said, for some of the family members there, y'all feel free. I'm sorry I got it all messed up in the poll. The question of the poll is, who was the player of the game for the Saints and the Panthers, not the Cowboys? As y'all can see, I was looking ahead like, man, let's get this dub. I'm already in winning spirits now. But yes, it's who's the best player there. Now, right now, it's almost 100 people have voted in the poll. They got Derek Carr with 36%, Alvin Kamara with 34%, Alante with 26%, and Blake Grupe with 3%. So very close poll between Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara there. They did just wonderful, man, all together. Almost 200 yards rushing by the Saints yesterday, 200 through the air, just everything flowing. We just need to bottle this and be consistent with all of this going forward. And it's just a bit and piece of the offense. And listen, not to just throw a little water on the fire, but just get a little bit more perspective. Just remember this as well, because we are the great Saint think tank. We are the mighty Who Dat Nation, the best in professional football, right? Let's remember this. We've seen a lot of football. We've been there, done that kind of thing. Remember this. And it's just how I think. Just remember this little giblet. The Carolina Panthers didn't know what you were going to do yesterday. You had an advantage over them, just like they had one on you. We didn't know what they were going to do from an offensive standpoint. They didn't know what the Saints offense was going to look like or what the Saints were going to do. And the reason why I say that is because the Dallas Cowboys do have some tape on the Saints. They're going to study that tape. So I know the Saints are going to crank up and throw out more plays, because this is what you're supposed to do as you move into the season, kind of, show more of yourself as you go forward, show more plays, or refine some of the plays that you run. You can even reverse them to the opposite side, but regardless of the situation, just remember that they had nothing to go on. So they were just adjusting on the fly, and they adjusted poorly. So just remember that going forward, that every game you have tape that they will study and attempt to use against you, and let them. And that, my friends and family, is the difference in who will win, who will get to the bowl versus that we got to adjust to. If they find out what we got to do, we just got to turn the level up a notch and keep doing what we do. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, let's talk game balls right here. Shout out to brother Bob Rose and my guy Kyle T. Mosley at the Saints News Network. Always giving them guys a shout out because they do a great job. John Hendricks as well. Bob wrote a really good article the other day. The most criticized members of the Saints may have been the most impressive during Week 1's demolition of Carolina. Indeed, they have. The outcome of this one was not any in doubt from the start, with Derek Carr hitting Rashid Shaheed for a 59-yard touchdown. Carolina responded with Bryce Young throwing an interception to Will Harris. That was just lovely seeing all that. The Saints turned the opportunity into a field goal and scored on all 6 of their first half possessions. The defense did their part, suffocating our Panthers by holding them without a first down until late in the second quarter, and just 74 first half yards while forcing 3 turnovers on the day. By halftime, the Saints had a 30-3 advantage, and it was 37-10 score by the end of the third quarter, allowing the Saints to sit most of their starters for the final handful of drives. You'd think such an outcome would be the result of an offensive explosion, as Lee Carso of ESPN said, "Not so fast, my friend. The Saints certainly had their productive day offensively. They scored on their first 9 possessions and had 379 yards of total offense, with most of that coming in the first 3 quarters. This was a dominating performance in every phase with several standout individuals." Let's talk about some of them. The offensive tackles. Remember, we talked about how does the offensive line respond? And these were questions that we asked because in this world, we want proof. We want people to show us and prove to us. We want some proof on some of this stuff. We don't buy cars without test driving them. We don't buy houses without doing inspections on them. Whether we looking around and seeing what it is and getting somebody to get up on the roof and do a roof inspection, get somebody to take a look at that air condition, see if it's doing what it's due. In this world, we need proof. A lot of stuff we buy that makes you a smart buyer when you do your homework, right? So some of this is like that, right? We need to see that the people that we are investing in are going to eventually turn the tides. Now, we've seen guys, our offensive tackles. Tali Fuaga did a wonderful job yesterday. I think people were okay with Tali. I think more of the attention was on Trevor Penning at the right tackle position. And hey, first week, Trevor Penning was awesome. Can we say that, family? Can we say Trevor Penning was awesome? We talked about, say, Trevor Penning moving to the right tackle position. He'll be good. He'll be good there. And Trevor Penning, like I told y'all when we was in the preseason game, and everybody was looking at him after that first preseason game, that second preseason game was there, and the Saints were looking at him and his performance, and all eyes were on him. He showed up in that second preseason game, and ever since then, the guy's been on the up going. He's ascending. It's not going straight up like that. He might be doing, the a slow incline like a airplane getting up into the sky, but he is ascending. He's doing a really solid job at that right tackle position, especially against Clowney. He had a really good day against Jadeveon Clowney. And a lot of people might say, well, Clowney this, that, and the third. Now, Clowney can rush. When he's healthy, Clowney can give you some problems. He ain't no clown when he's healthy. But Tali Fuaga and especially Penning were the subject of high anxiety leading into the season opener, but responded with a terrific outing, as did the entire offensive line. Outside a few isolated plays, Carolina's defensive front was a non-factor all afternoon. Derek Carr was sacked just once in the game, and then that was when the interior broke down. He was rarely even hurried from the edge, whether passing from the pocket or on several design rollouts to Penning's side. That's true. Alvin Kamara rushed for a game-high 83 yards, averaged 7 yards per carry. I forgot to mention that to you with the almost 200 yards. Alvin averaged almost 7. So did Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill almost averaged that too. And Jamal Williams almost averaged 5 yards a rush. So as you can see, it wasn't just one particular runner that was making it pop. The Saints offensive line had Christmas presents for all of their running backs, no matter if you were Alvin, whether you was Taysom, whether you were Jamal Williams. The Saints had Christmas presents early, Christmas for their running backs in this game, because everybody I could have gotten there. It ran and averaged 5 yards a carry the way they were blocking. Now, as the team, the Saints ran for 180 on the day, averaged 5 yards per carry, and were often untouched into the second level of the defense, right? Getting to the linebacker level. That's what it was about. That's what John Benton talked about. Now, even though his thing was, that's the clear cut of the example, getting Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill to that level, but seeing Taysom Hill running out of getting the handoff like a running back in a full head of steam, and had several plays where Taysom Hill broke tacklers, where he broke through hand tackles and arm tackles, and just Taysom Hill brutalized and bashed his way. And it's just, you're going to see more of these fun type of run days, man, with Taysom Hill getting the ball as a runner. And shout out to Adam Prentice. I often criticize Adam Prentice, say he's nothing special. He did a solid job of blocking in the first week of action. They used it, but let's just say it like this. Clint Kubiak used them in a way where we seen benefits and fruit of labor from Adam Prentice, as opposed to what we seen in the Carmichael system. He looked a lot better than he usually does. Let's just say that. See how certain players look different, more confident in a different system, like Penning does. So that's pretty cool. All right, New Orleans had a balanced attack and dictated the pace of the game. Also, when you talked about the running attack, when the Saints put up 180 yards on the Carolina Panthers, let us not forget the fact that the Saints had almost 37 minutes of time of possession, fam, in a 60-minute game. You heard what I said? In a 60-minute contest, the Saints had almost 37 minutes of the clock, time of possession. It was awesome. And that was due to the fact that the Saints were running the ball so well against Carolina. So you dominate there, you dominate the clock, you control a playbook, what they're going to do. And then they were just all kiltered the entire game, man. They really didn't have anything. So shout out to our offensive line. Even Lucas Patrick was doing really good as well. Now he got banged up in the game. So, Landon Young came in there and still was running the ball. I was like, damn, that still was positive. All right. Carr completed 19 of 23 for 200 and threw 3 touchdowns. It wasn't a spectacular day statistically, but Carr made key plays in critical moments and maintained perfect control of offensive plays. The Saints scored on all 9 of their drives before he was lifted for Jake Haener once the game was well decided. That's the thing we talk about when you talk about a guy, what Carr did. It's not the numbers. He threw 3 touchdowns. He only had 200 yards passing, but that wasn't the point. The point is how the touchdowns look. How they flowed within the offense between the Saints running the ball and them then striking. Don't forget the totality of everything, because everything flowed organically. That's what I was saying yesterday. I was like, man, The Saints offense had an organic, natural flow that everybody was involved in. And it was just, they were on one. It was football heaven yesterday for the Saints. It was football heaven for the Saints yesterday, and football heaven for you too. All right, but anyway, I know it was football heaven for me. We're gonna hopefully it could be football heaven part 2 against the Cowboys. All right, Carr's first throw touchdown was a deep strike to Shaheed. Even with the pressure in his face, he calmly delivered the ball to his receiver in stride. The second scoring throw came on the design rollout. His first read wasn't there, yet Carr maintained composure and patiently tossed the ball where only tight end Foster Monroe could get it. This is true. If you watch the tape, I mentioned all this in the game. And I was like, because I watched him. I seen him direct Foster Monroe there, and he made a really good play. And not only that, but he put just enough height on the ball and just enough zip on the ball to get over one defender and get to his wide receiver, tight end, Monroe, faster than the other defensive back and get in there and swipe at it. So he was on one. It wasn't the fact that the yardage. It was the type of throws. The Juwan Johnson throw was awesome. He put that ball right there for Juwan Johnson to make, to get his feet in. So yeah, he did a wonderful job. We need to see more of that. All right. So yeah, to put an exclamation point on the win, Carr was perfect on all seven of his second half throws. He peppered the Panthers secondary through the intermediate zones while showing decisiveness in his reads. More importantly, Carr did not throw interceptions. Most of his pass hit his receivers in stride or were put in places where only his pass catchers could make a play. Great comment by Bob, as always. Remember, this is a new offensive concept that Carr was rolling out with. He actually looked pretty comfortable in this new concept. That's worth a mention as well. It's only week 1, but Derek Carr showed a firm grasp of the system and an impressive level of comfort to the start of the year. Very true. Clint Kubiak. How about this young man? He was out there on the turf calling the plays, and that was the question of whether he'll be up in the booth or on the floor, on the mat next to Dennis Allen calling the plays. Well, he was on the mat, right? Saints offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak called a masterful game. Pre-snap motion and diverse play calling kept the Panthers on their heels, guessing all the afternoon. Moving players like Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Rashid Shaheed around the formation also kept Carolina off balance. The formations was awesome. Moving Alvin Kamara out, Taysom Hill in, just kept the endless torment going against the Carolina Panthers, didn't it? The defense never could reset because they couldn't set, because they had the one moment that Alvin in there. You got to get used to Alvin's elusiveness. And then the next moment you got Taysom's power in there. So Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill are a new thunder and lightning type tandem, and then they still hit you with Jamal Williams. Then it was cool. It was awesome seeing them guys in there doing that, man. They had no answer for that. Our Saints were aggressive offensively from the start. It was Kubiak's creative play calling, formation, sharp execution that was the most noticeable difference from recent years. Perhaps most exciting is the fact that we've only seen a small portion of the playbook that Kubiak is likely to unveil as the season progresses. This is true because, like I said early in the show, as the games go, he'll let out a little bit more of the offense because we know our adversaries will watch the film and try to figure out what they can do to stop us. But, we got to run the ball regardless, baby. If we do that, we're going to be all right. Like I said, if we run the ball, we're going to be all right. We got too many folks, too many weapons to be a 7-win team. That's why I say we'll be 10 or 11 wins rather. All right. Anyway. All right. Not to be outdone. Dennis Allen and Joe Woods were equally masterful on the defensive side. Good defense. This is true as well. Shout out to Joe Woods. Shout out to Darren Rizzi, our special teams coordinator. He had a good game too. Our kicker was 4 for 4, Blake Grupe. The punter did a decent job when he did get the punt, and the coverage teams was awesome. So it was a full-out effort yesterday, man. All of the coordinators, shout out to those guys. Give them all some credit, man. Clap it up for our coordinators, man. Clap it up for our coordinators, man. They did a wonderful job yesterday. Alontae Taylor had 3 sacks, all came from perfectly designed blitzes from different places along the formation. New Orleans kept Panthers QB Bryce Young uncomfortable all day with aggressive blitzes and imaginative coverage designs. Y'all remember in the game, like we was talking during for the family members that were watching the live watch party that we did, I was saying how Bryce was looking downfield, but there was never anything there, which the Saints defenders would start forcing him to run out of bounds. The coverage units were on one. They had it all covered. There was really nowhere for him to go with the ball. And when he did actually have an opportunity to make throws, he was so out of rhythm that he would either he was overthrowing his receivers. The Saints never allowed him to get comfortable. And the Panthers didn't do well enough to give him enough throws, quick throws, to get out there at first just to build a rhythm. They never did that. Very foolish. And the Saints really helped him along get really stumped out. So, man, Young was just 13 of 30 on the day, threw 2 interceptions. Carolina had no better luck with their running game, with their backs. Yeah, they didn't even have a running attack. Just 36 yards and 3 yards per carry. The Saints defenders won their individual battles. Dennis Allen also designed a terrific scheme and maintained aggressiveness throughout the contest. The Saints put the Panthers on the ropes early with an equally aggressive offense and defense, and they didn't let Carolina regroup at any point of the game, showing killer instinct and finishing mentality that had been lacking with the coaching staff. This is true. Next up, a trip to Dallas. Next week, the Cowboys are coming off their own impressive 33-17 destruction of the Browns on the road. Regardless of the level of opponent, the Panthers are, the way the Saints dominated, should give the squad a high level of confidence heading into week 2. And that's what you want to do. You want to set the room at that level and have everybody believing, like, see what we did. Now let's take they should be chomping at the bit and excited to be able to take this scheme and this team into Dallas against Dak, against CeeDee Lamb, against Micah Parsons, against all those guys, and say, okay, hey, they consider the Cowboys one of the top teams in the NFC. You ever heard of the Saints? And smack them down. That'll be 2 going forward. So let's make it pop, man. Like I said, we got as much talent as anybody, man. It's always been about the execution with us, making it go. So there it is. All right. So shout out to Bob, man. Really good article, as always, with Bob Rose, man. Always doing great stuff. Shout out to Alvin Kamara, man. Alvin Kamara on his 50th game with 100+ scrimmage yards. Pay the man. Pay the damn man. Can we pay Alvin Kamara already? He passed an important milestone on Sunday against the Panthers, with which the Caesars Superdome game options crew made sure to recognize. The Saints star running back totaled 100 scrimmage yards for his 50th game in the NFL, prompting an announcement from the public address system and a bow to the crowd as he applauded them. After the game, Kamara shared his reaction. He said, yeah, man, I never really keep track of things like this. Doug Miller, the Saints executive director of football communications, always tells him, stuff that, stats and stuff like that. Kamara says, unflappable as always. It's cool. It's real cool, because obviously being here my whole career, you don't think about it, or at least I don't think about the past years, 2017, 2018, 2019. I'm just living in the now right now, being able to quantify it, put a stamp on it, on what I've accomplished is cool. Just doing it with my teammates, and obviously the Superdome recognizing me is cool. So indeed. So where does the Kamara rank among active players in games with 100+ scrimmage yards? Only Christian McCaffrey is ahead of him with 55 games. But the other player behind them are also in an impressive group. Here's a quick look at the leaders, or where the leaders stand in these rankings as we move into week number 2. Christian McCaffrey, 55 games since 2017. That's really the only dude that's ahead of AK-41 with a lot of stuff, man. And that's why I believe that this offense will be something that he'll be able to thrive on, man. We just need to keep doing what we do to make sure we get it done with Alvin Kamara. Hopefully the Saints will pay him at some point. Yeah, man. So I will see how it all goes, man. But anyway, Alvin, 50 games since 2017. Zeke Elliott, 49 games since 2016. Let's see. From 2016. Derrick Henry, 49 games since 2017. DeAndre Hopkins, 42 of them since 2013. Devontae Adams, 42 since 2014. Tyreek Hill, 41 since 2016. Keenan Allen, 39 since 2013. Nick Chubb is on this list. So a lot of really popping names, really popular and very good players on this list. And AK-41 sits entrenched second only behind Christian McCaffrey, the guy that the Saints coordinator was helping to guide the 49ers last year, and he's in the same similar offense. Expect big things from Alvin Kamara this year in the contract year, especially the fact that he's going to play pissed off because he wants a contract. So it all works out for the Who Dat Nation, doesn't it, family? It always does. All right, anyway, let's keep it moving, man. Let's kind of touch on a few things here with the Saints. Let's see what I got. Kind of move over here. Well, let's do this, man. Let's run ODA. Let's hear from Dennis Allen first, man. Let's hear from him first, family. Before we do it, I know Dennis Allen had like a little press conference today. Let's listen to ODA. I got it sped up for some of the family members that might hear it and think, hey, man, why is DA sounding like that? It's because I got him sped up just a little bit, man, to get through it for time restraints. But here's what DA had to say today, man. Here we go.
Look, we got a chance to meet with the players, watch the tape. Still a lot of things that we got to get cleaned up, but I thought overall it was a good performance again in all three phases. So a lot of the things that I thought after the game, I thought held up. And now, really, honestly, our attention is totally focused on Dallas now. Once we got these corrections made, and we got to start, getting ready for those guys.
I think Dallas had something like 17 pressures or 17 QB hits or something yesterday. I mean, is that one of the most eye-opening things about that?
Well, I'll be quite honest with you. We're just now getting into, starting to look at that. And yet that doesn't shock me. I think they got a lot of talented players over there on defense. And I think Mike Zimmer is one of the better defensive minds in our league. And so they'll definitely be a challenge for us to have to deal with, really, in all three phases. I think they're going to be well coached in all three phases, offense, defense, and in the kicking game, and they got talented players over there. So this will be a great test for us.
How did your offensive line grade on the film review, specifically in the position where you acknowledged that they weren't set?
Yeah, look, I thought those guys played well. I mean, you got to look at everything in the totality of what we were able to do. And I said this, I think, after the game. When you run the ball like that, when you're able to be effective throwing the ball and your quarterback doesn't get hit much, and you put points up on the board like that, I think you can't do that and have your offensive line not play well. And so I thought those guys played well, and yet we'll have a much stiffer test this weekend.
You mentioned cleanup. Were there glaring things? Penalties would be one big example. Were there glaring things?
No, look, I mean, I thought the execution overall was pretty good, but in a game that plays out differently, in a tighter game, some of these mistakes, certainly could hurt you. I mean, we dropped coverage on a quarterback scramble one time and gave up a, explosive play. We missed a couple opportunities, potentially for some big plays, offensively. We had a big return, on the opening kickoff that had a chance to be a really, really big play. And I felt like we left, a lot of yards on the table in the return game. So there's certainly a lot of things that, we got to clean up. But in terms of just a first game out and from an execution standpoint, I felt like all three phases executed at a pretty high level. Yeah, I thought his first regular season game was pretty good. And there's still, there's still too many negative plays that we've got to get corrected. And I think we will. I think the key for us is, that race to improve from week 1 to week 2, and it has to be in all areas. And so I think that's what our focus is going to be.
So that's the way that you guys are able to create options before man, average 26 yards, 40 shot touch, like where they does great things.
Well, I mean, I think, Clint, Rico, JB, Jari, all those guys that are involved in Clancy, all those guys that are involved in the running game and coming up with a good plan. I think they do a really good job of that. I think, our guys did a great job targeting in the run game. I think that was probably one of the better things that we did. We got on the right people, and I think that's part of it, and they've got some different defensive structures that can make that challenging at times. And so, and then I thought, we did a good job of kind of reestablishing the line of scrimmage up front. I thought we were able to get some movement on the line of scrimmage, create space in the defense, and the enemy a great run defense is space. And so, we're trying to create as much of it as we can offensively, and we're trying to eliminate as much of it as we can defensively.
Terms was pretty passionate yesterday about his desire to be on field and
Let's mention this. Shout out to Gunda, man. He asked about Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller is going to be on the shelf for several weeks, bro. But the Saints will be in good hands. The way the Saints are utilizing Taysom Hill, like he's a member of the running back room. Alvin's in there. Then if he needs a break, they bring Alvin out and bring Taysom Hill in. And Taysom needs a break, or they move him around. And then Jamal Williams is more like a third back. We did see Jordan Mims in there, but that was only when they pulled those three guys out of there and gave Mims a couple of carries when Hayner was in the game. But yeah, he's on the shelf for several weeks, and he'll be back. That's another weapon the Saints have, man, to be honest with you. Indeed. But yeah, Carr, man, a lot of family members say Carr did good. Yes, he did. He did well.
I'm just curious, what does it say to you as his coach that there was all this contracts up going on and didn't get resolved before we won, but he didn't hold out. He's still out there.
You talking about Alvin? I didn't. Okay, yeah. Look, Alvin's been outstanding. I mean, he showed up, came to work every day. He's been a real pro about handling his business. And look, we know that contracts are part of what we deal with in the NFL. And I think he's kind of put that to the side and just focused on the things that he can control, and that's how he goes out and plays the game. And so he's been great. I thought he was awesome in the game. Thought he ran the ball hard. Thought he ran the ball effectively. Ran the plays the way they were designed to be run. And I think he benefited from that. So yeah, I think that was good to see. I think we saw that Alvin, he still got the ability to be a really good player for us.
What kind of example or maybe message?
Yeah, that's not a foregone conclusion about Alvin Kamara. A lot of people have a misconception about some running backs, but there's exception to every rule. This is known. And Alvin Kamara is not like other running backs, right? Just like Christian McCaffrey isn't like other running backs. These guys are special. They're special. And San Francisco knows that about Christian McCaffrey. That's why they traded for Carolina. That's why they said, man, this guy, we can make this. Shanahan said, man, I can make that. I can turn that running back into something special in this offense. It's the same thing with Clint Kubiak. He knows what Alvin Kamara is. And if anybody, like Barbara was saying, she was watching the 49ers tonight, how they were operating that zone run scheme, running it to perfection. That's a brief insight on what the Saints are trying to do in their version. So you got a back. And basically when Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey were drafted in the league at the same time, these guys have been really compared for most of their career. Now, Christian McCaffrey, he's led the NFL in rushing, I think, a couple of times. He's done some stuff that Alvin hadn't done yet. But imagine Alvin Kamara in a full season in this offense. This could be record-breaking, and I'm telling you, that's what it's gearing up for. Him cutting off the contract talks at the start of the regular season sets the perfect climate for him to be able to put together a hell of a year in which his statistics are through the roof, and the Saints going to have to come up with the bread. And they probably would have got a better deal for him if they had signed him prior to the regular season versus waiting. That's why I was saying, listen, he done enough for you to earn the contract just like Cam Jordan did. And this thing about him not being able, he's the most well-conditioned athlete you have. There is not too many people that you can say that are ready to play football at any point of the year besides Alvin Kamara. You can have a game in the middle of spring or at the end, right after, in March sometimes. You can have a full and Alvin Kamara ready to go. That's what kind of guy that is. So in my opinion, I would pay the damn man. Pay him. You're going to end up paying him one way or the other, or your adversary is going to end up paying him. And then you're going to really pay, if you know what I mean. Let me go back.
In that sense for maybe younger guys in the room and things like that, you didn't complicate the situation with holdouts and all
Yeah,
that.
look, I mean, I think all situations are different. I mean, it's hard to put them all in one bucket and say this is how these things are handled. But yeah, I mean, I look at some point, you gotta go play, and so he decided when he got here that he was going to practice and he was going to play, and I'm glad he did. It's been good.
One player probably asked me about his Blake Grouping. First game of the season, 57 yards, and then he goes deep for the day. We think about his improvement when you want to achieve in the season.
Well, it's one game, all right. So, but I thought he kicked the ball outstanding all throughout camp, and I think coming out in the first game and your first kick is a 57-yarder, and he knocked it through with plenty to spare, and then came back and had another 52-yarder, and then was on all the extra points. I mean, I don't know if you can kick it any more down the middle of the uprights in those situations. So I thought he kicked the ball great. I thought he was really good on kickoffs, putting the ball basically where we wanted it to be put. So I was pleased with what he showed us in week one, and anticipating and expecting that continued.
How much more confident are you now that you have this? How often would it have been last year to let him go out and let his first kick be 57 yards?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I felt good about him going out and kicking it. And so, yeah, I don't know if it would have been different last year or not. But I certainly felt good about putting him out there and letting him kick it through this year.
Given the weather situation, you can do this a lot. But knowing there's a storm in golf, you talk to young players and change your preparation this week. Just kind of
Yeah, well, I think like everybody else in the city, we're monitoring it, and we'll make plans accordingly. I think we're going to meet again this afternoon and see what kind of plans we need to make, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I think we probably do this better than anybody else in the National Football League, so we'll figure it out.
All right, shout out to the some of the family members, man. Dennis Allen's alluding to the impending tropical storm. I think it's now Francine is approaching the area. It's supposed to be arriving. I think it's supposed to go ashore somewhere around Lafayette, which is going to be west of the area, the New Orleans area. So that's what a lot of people are looking out for to see how that goes. We're starting to get these storms. People get a little shaky, man, in the city. So shout out to the family members out there that's preparing for what could be happening there. All right, Bobbin says, what's the ETA on Dallin Hawker? We have not known that yet, my brother. We'll know more this week. Maybe Wednesday we'll know what's going on with Dallin's Hawker's ankle. We'll see what happening later on in the week. Shout out to you, Robert Bro. Big ups to your fam. LM, the poll question is wrong, brother. I meant to put the Carolina Panthers name in there, but obviously, you see, I was looking for a win, in my head already with Dallas. So it's not, it's supposed to be Carolina week 1 player of the game, just to let y'all know, man, for people coming in late. I said that early in the stream for some of y'all that's just probably popping in late. Bullard family travel vlog, shout out to you as well. Big ups to you. He says, yeah, Q, hope we can be as smooth as the 49ers. This take time. 49ers been running that for a minute. They've been running that scheme for a minute. So it's going to take us a little bit to get as crisp and, cool as they are doing it, so we'll see. Swag Out Entertainment says we got to punch the Cowboys in the mouth early, O-line and D-line. Yeah, we got to jump on them, similar to the Carolina game. But also, it's a tough challenge. What's up, True Hurts? We have a tough challenge in that Parsons kid, number 11. The dude is all over the place, man. He was wreaking havoc on Cleveland. you know, and they're going to try to line them up against Penning. That's an early test for Penning and Tolley and those guys to take on that pass rush team. So the Saints are going to have to be on their game in terms of getting the ball out, running the ball, just being physical with Dallas's defensive line rather, and putting pressure on Dak Prescott. And we got to do a really good, and then we're going to talk more about that. I'm going to bring in a Dallas Cowboys podcaster to break down this team, and we'll talk about all that later on in the week, you know, as we get into that. All right. So anyway, man, you know, let's move on from that, man. And I'm going to kind of give y'all a little bit of this right here. And this is something that comes from by way of Jon Gruden. Jon Gruden got his own YouTube channel now, and he brought on Derek Carr. Let's listen at a little bit of this. Here we go.
Say this, man. I love you. I miss you, man. I'm really excited to watch you play this year, man.
Oh, I had the best offseason of my life, Drew. I got after it. So
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Like just for all the young quarterbacks, because we're reviving Gruden's QB camp. You know that, right? Right here. So we called one of our prize proteges, Derek Carr, because yes. I told you at Gruden's QB camp I was going to draft you at some point. I was going to coach you, and we did. We did do some shredding now.
Yeah, absolutely, we did.
You know, just real quick, tell me about what a couple things are that you did this offseason that are a little bit different for all the young quarterbacks out there.
Yeah, you know, this offseason, I really just went back through my process and I said, okay, you know, we won 9 games and 9 is just not good enough. And so where in my process, you know, for our team, can I be better? Because if I'm better, it helps the team be better. And, you know, there were some.
Oh, my goodness, these ads. Hold on, fam. I'm going to get through this crap, these crazy ads. But John,
things that I saw on film with my feet, there were some things. So training that footwork, getting my base, my balance right, you know, my platform, all that kind of stuff that we would talk about, you know, just getting that back how it should be, you know, being more in tune to that. And then strength and conditioning wise, I ran like a madman. I was like, I got to be the best in shape player that I could be, you know, so that I can being more in tune to that. And then strength and conditioning wise, I ran like a madman. Process, you know, for our team, can I be better? Because if I'm better, it helps the team be better. And, you know, there were some things that I saw on film with my feet. There were some things. So training that footwork, getting my base, my balance right, you know, my platform, all that kind of stuff that we would talk about, you know, just getting that back how it should be, you know, being.
Okay. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? He watched some film and seeing his feet wasn't right and all this kind of stuff. And remember, Clint Kubiak was the one telling them about, hey, man, we got to get something done with them feet. You know, that ain't going to work. That's totally different from what we had from Pete Carmichael, the mouse.
You know, there were some things that I saw on film with my feet. There were some things. So training that footwork, getting my base, my balance right, you know, my platform, all that kind of stuff that we would talk about, you know, just getting that back how it should be, you know, being more in tune to that. And then strength and conditioning wise, I ran like a madman. I was like, I got to be the best in shape player that I could be, you know, so that I can, you know, run for a 15-yard first down and then call the next play like it's nothing and do it again. And that was another thing. And then I went back to some of my strength, you know, stuff that I was doing in college. And I got back to, you know, some heavier squats, which, you know, is not everybody's favorite thing, but I just went back to it because I was like, man, I you know, the injuries and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I got to be out there. I got to be healthy. And so, and I hit PRs on my squat. I hit PRs, you know, wow. on some different things. And so I just really try to go back to that college mindset, chip on my shoulder, you know, to go earn it again. And so, yeah, just some things like, you know, you never want to lose that fire, you know, you never want to lose that. And so I just try to dive back more into that kind of the pissed off kind of mindset.
You know, I really don't like the beard, just so you know. I want to come on record here. I do not like.
All right. The pissed off mindset. And y'all remember the other day, man, Derek Carr was feeling pretty good. He lowered his shoulder and ran, you know, and ran into the defensive player. And he said in the press conference that he got cussed out by Dennis Allen for doing that. But I can respect the aggressiveness. I also can respect the fact that he tells JC Horn to look at the scoreboard. That was pretty cool too. So yeah, we like that. That's the cockiness like you need to have here. Here go
on you, man. What's the deal?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. me and Nate were just talking about that. You know, I was like, Gru was going to say something about my beard. Heather doesn't like it either, so I'm probably going to end up shaving it soon.
You know, I've always felt, and you know this, that quickness is the key to being a great quarterback. The mental quickness, the arm quickness, and the body quickness. And every year you got to get quicker. And I've never really coached anybody that is as mentally quick as you are. And I've been meeting with a lot of young quarterbacks, Derek, and a lot of them ask me, what do you look at when you break the huddle? Like when you go to the line of scrimmage, What do you look at? Can you tell the young quarterbacks out there?
Yeah, there's without getting too in depth and about some things, but like you got to start with the safeties. Like I got to see the safeties, I got to see the linebackers distribution. I got to know what the front is. If you don't know what the front is, if you can't recognize the front, how are you going to communicate what you need? And so you got to be able to recognize. And one thing that I do is on first and second down especially is I'm looking at run fits. If I got a set a 6 technique, well, someone's got to have the D gap. The coach didn't call a defensive play with no D gap contained. I got to know that. Okay, I'm probably expecting something off the slot here. Off my tight end side or a strong safety stinger. Or if it's a trips, I know the nickel's probably coming, or it's a tight cover 2, and he's just he's going to fit in on that D gap. So you got to understand the whole scheme. You got to understand the defense you're going against. If you're going against a Paul Gunther, if you're going against a Zimmer, it's different than going against a Gus Bradley. It's different than going against a Todd Bowles. They play different coverages. They bring different pressures. They do different things than each other. And so if you understand the defense, then you can understand, well, if I understand this coordinator right, I know that he's not going to align like this and play that coverage. They don't play that coverage. They play this coverage. And so you start eliminating things in about that 5-second window as you're walking to the line of scrimmage. You start eliminating things. And then the faster you can recognize what you're seeing, the faster that ball can get out of your hand, and you can help your offensive line, you can help your receivers, all those things.
You know what I love about you is not only
excellent. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And another thing is, like, you can see the opposite of what happened with the Saints with Bryce Young. Bryce Young was not processing what the Saints defense was doing. I was talking about it on the play-by-play. I was like, man, a couple of those sacks by Alontae Taylor shouldn't have happened. I mean, he was not reading what the Saints defense was. I don't know what he was doing, but I know he wasn't doing that. He was not reading the defense correctly. So Carr is absolutely right what he's doing and processing and seeing everything. So, yes, as the Cowboys going to show him some different looks, we got some real tough defenses ahead, man. So, yeah, this is the correct mentality, no doubt about it. Let's hear from old Chucky there.
Well, you're a great guy. You're a man of faith. You're still preaching. You're active in the house of God, but you love football, don't you?
I love it.
Do you still love it? I mean, there's a lot of negativity. People are always chiming on the quarterback. It's never good enough. And they've used you as a lightning rod. They use the coach and they use the play caller and the quarterback. But what are the 2 or 3 things that you still love about the game?
I love
let's keep it balanced. People are going to get on you when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Let's keep it a whole buck, because that's what you're supposed to do. People going to call you out. If you make it $150 million and you're not handling your goddamn business, if you're a fair man, you said, you know what? That's true. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I need to improve. That's what we do. We don't look at nobody. I don't look at nobody and say, hey, man, if I'm wrong on something, I'm going to say I'm wrong. But at the same time, that's called accountability. Don't preach accountability if you don't want to be a part of it. You can't preach it and then be exempt from it when it comes to you. It makes you a hypocrite. So, yes, it's a part of accountability. Who knows that more than Chucky? Chucky done cussed this man out more than anybody. So, hell yeah, he know if he going to get them up to par, you got to make sure they're accountable. So, yes, you do. And this is accountability here, because Derek Carr wasn't doing this last year. He wasn't. He'll tell you that during it when he talking and having advanced word salad moments. He'll tell you all that. When I need to do this and that third. These problems that he was talking about that he had them all last year. He didn't see it right. We were looking at the tape saying, hey, man, this is not right at all. This is wrong, because he wasn't being coached. Guys like Chucky, get them on it. They're on him. A guy like Clint Kubiak, they're on him. So, he knows that the man got the talent, but it's something about coaches like Chucky and Clint Kubiak that can get it out of them. Like Chucky, no other coach yet was able to get 4,000-yard passing seasons out of Derek Carr, except for Chucky. What did Chucky know? Chucky was one of those guys that wouldn't let Derek Carr rest. He was always holding him on that level, making him accountable. And thus, he had really good seasons under Chucky. And Clint Kubiak is not as aggressive as a Chucky, because Chucky's personality is similar to like a Sean Payton. Clint's more of a quiet dude, but more so, hey, man, you need to do this. We need to speed this up. We need, he like a quiet type of dude, but still on you. So That's what it is, man.
Competitive nature it brings out. I just you don't get that anywhere else. You don't get to go against a Mario Davis head to head every single day and have a battle of minds every day at practice. You don't get that just in the office. You don't get to go against Cam Jordan and Tyrann Mathieu trying to throw an out route against Marshawn Lattimore. You don't get to do that just anywhere. And so for me, it's that competitive nature that brings out just that dog in you. That fire in you, that shredder mindset. Like that. Getting into that mode. I am. I me, Gru. I love the Lord. I do preach and I do it. When I put that helmet on, even my wife says, "You're a different person." Like she's like, I don't recognize you. And it's just that competitive nature that comes out. If you want to win, and that's all I want to do. And so I think that's one thing that I just absolutely love about it. And I still love the process. I really do. We would always talk about if we ever lost a game, we didn't lose. We just ran out of time. Like it's the process of getting better. And I still feel like I'm going into my 11th year. I feel like I'm better now than I've ever been, because I just kept working at it. And whenever I don't feel like that, that's when you can't do it anymore. You got to love that process. You got to love the grind. You always told me, you got to love the misery. You got to love the misery, and you really do. Because if you don't love every part of this job, like you said, they're going to come after you no matter what you do. We go to the playoffs, they still hate everybody. We win more games than we lose, they still hate you. And there's so much of that I just surround myself with the people that believe in me, the people that speak life into me, and that's why I just going on 11 years of completing passes.
That's a great answer. I don't want to give away anything specific as to what.
Okay, let me put it to you like this, man, because I've been doing this for a while. And they have people out there that are unbalanced that regardless of what you do, they'll cut you up. But me, man, I don't operate that way. I'm accountable. I believe in accountability. I don't see it like that. I see they got people out there. The way I see it, this just vehicle game. The way I see it is because it's easier for some people to just take critiques and call them criticisms and just wrap them all together in a ball and throw them away because they are branding everything as negative noise, or it's just all bad. So as opposed to taking time from whatever you are hearing and taking whatever, because you can't shield yourself from it, because you live in this world. If you're a public person and you are a football player or a basketball player or an entertainer or whatever, you live in the social media world. To a degree, you may be able to shield yourself, but they'll have people that'll bring it to you, and you'll be, you'll be having the option to answer the question. But a lot of times your actions dictate what you get back. Now, you might have a small segment of people that don't like you because you are who you are. That can't be helped. Those are closed-minded people that you can't do nothing with. Discard them, shun them. Can't do nothing with that. But then there are a segment of people that come where you can take something from them, because you never know. If you're a spiritual man or a man of God, then you would also know that the Most High would send people to you and you don't know who it is to teach your ass a lesson. It might be a bum on the street. It might be a homeless person, or it might be somebody you don't know. It might be a young child that come and say something to you. You never know. You never know where the message is going to come from. Sometimes it's straight to you. Sometimes it's through other people. You see, sometimes that's how it goes. So the way I look at it is, if you're giving critiques, and they're real serious critiques, go back and look at your game. If somebody telling you something, go do some introspection. Go look at yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because if you having different people and you having the same experiences happening over and over again, then that's your ass. You causing that. You can't blame everybody around you. Oh, you the problem. No. Because you are in it. You are being that made. You're not just some meat and bone creature walking around here. It's something inside you that is extraordinary, special, and unique. There's one of you, even if there was a twin of you that came out the same matrix, that came out the same womb, you still are different. So it's something inside of you that is unique versus everybody you see. And that part of that uniqueness, that energy that you're made of energy, a being of energy, a baby angel. You have all these different frequencies. That you have one moment you're here, the next moment you're there. One day you might be up here. You see what I'm saying? So in essence, what I'm saying is that you never know where that information gonna come from. So if you're given, if a word is given to you that could help you, take it, whether you like it or not, listen to it and see if you can utilize it to help you make you better. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So at some point, because I'll put it to you like this on this football stuff. I sit up here, man, on film and look at a Derek Carr and break his game down last year, all of the games, all the 22s, the play-by-plays, everything. And then I go back and watch the games again, all that stuff. And you look at it and you says, man, he can't be looking at this because he keep doing this over and over and over again. You're not recognizing the flaw as a flaw until somebody pointed it out, because we were saying that last year about progressions, about timing, stuff like that. Now he talked about his footwork, but he also changed. They just didn't mention footwork. Clint Kubiak said footwork. This was a first time, not the first time he said this before, but that's this time this year under Clint Kubiak, because the other guy wasn't talking about his footwork or his timing or his progressions. That was problematic last year. He was holding the ball too long. The tape showed that. It showed that he was holding the ball too long. He changed that. He got sped up. And a lot of times that happens because you get a better coach that knows what he's doing, and they break down your tape and say, hey, man, listen, we watched the tape. We got to speed you up. We got to speed you up. Then you go about the ritual again, or the routine about getting in the place that the coach needs you to be in. But like I said, this is whether you get it from Q at the Sports Coma or the Great Saint Think Tank or the Who Dat Nation, or from your coach or from your wife or wherever you go. If you keep hearing it, heed the word and see if you can apply it to yourself. Because a lot of times when somebody tell you you're playing a little too slow, speed it up, you're staring down, doing a little too much staring down there, that's direct and accurate criticism or critiquing of game. It's not just some crap somebody throwing out there. Oh, Derek Carr smells like an old bag of potatoes or some craziness like that. No. This is specific comments about an aspect of your football game that is problematic according to the film that you're looking at because it's causing problems. That's direct. So, don't take that lesson like we just take it all in the ball and just throw it out. Man, you're missing all kind of blessings doing that. Don't do that. Take the time to, if it gets to you, it's supposed to get to you. You hear what I said there? If you get something from no matter who he is, and it's from whoever it is, and it's a positive thing, and it gets to you and it gets to your ears, you better listen, man. Listen and take it and utilize it to your best ability. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a big part of the game. Because a lot of people thinking they just be talking dispersions on them and all that. Man, who think like that? What kind of world people living in? We live in a world of information. And you got to have the right information to be in formation to succeed. A lot of times they want to put you off kilter in a different level or have you thinking different so you be disjointed and out of formation. But I like the fact that, keep your mind open, keep your heart open, and whatever you get, you use it. The rest of it, if you can't use it, throw it away. What's that old saying about, chew the meat, but spit out the bones, that old type of thing. I don't know if I said that right, but y'all get the gist of it. Let's go back to
what you guys are doing. I did watch you. You didn't show much in the preseason, but you played for me. And then Greg Olson comes along. Then you have Coach McDaniels. Now you got Pete Carmichael. Now you're on to Clint Kubiak. I mean, you've had 5 different offenses in just 3 or 4 years. Can you just quickly give us a capsule where you are with the new offense? How comfortable are you as you get ready for Carolina?
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because, one thing I learned, I could look at it and be like, oh, woe is me. I got to learn another one, or I can just, suck it up and learn it and go win games, and, for me, I just kind of took that approach of what did I learn throughout the process of learning all those offenses, and how can I be better this time? How can I be more ahead this time than I was in any other year? And so for me, I always grab it, you know me better than anybody, I always grab it mentally like that. It takes me about a month and I can spit them out and call the plays and we can run them. But really it's the details of, I need you at the top of the numbers when I hit my fifth step. You got to be there for me, and I'm going to throw it right there. I need you, just outside the numbers on this. And we've been working, and you know how it is. Every day there's new things that you find out. But one thing that I did is whenever we had a practice, I would take the script out and I would go out, 40 minutes early, and I'd run through the practice. And so by the time we had 23 practices, I really had 46, because for me, I was like, the one thing that I can do better is have more reps. And so, man, I just would go out there and be like, okay, I'd call a play, someone snapping me the ball, and I'd line someone up. Okay, it's cover 2. Boom. Hey, now it's cover 4. I'm going here with the ball. Go over there. Boom. I'm throwing that. Oh, they jumped it. Come to my check down. Boom. I'm throwing that. And so I just played the game mentally before practice even started, and then I would practice. And so for me, I felt like that made me, from a rep standpoint, man, I just doubled what I really was going to get, whatever the coaches had for me. So that's one thing that I did this year.
Are you at a point right now where if Clint calls a play, because I know you have great body language. You let me know when you didn't like something. You have that shoulder look. But when you like something, I could just feel the tail wagging. I knew when you liked something. When you get that play from the sideline, are you in that position right now where I love this or not so much right now? How are you there?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. Yeah, like I already know what I want him to call. I know what I want in 2 minutes. Third down, if you get to this, man, I freaking love it. Because you would always tell me, do you like it or do you love it? There's a difference, and you got to be in love with it, because you always called the ones I love. Except the one time we called that one play and I checked out of it.
Thanks a lot for checking out. You covered my ass a lot, by the way. I do appreciate it. I had just a couple others real quick. I know Raider Nation is still really special to you. Those fans, that alliance of people has always been in your wheelhouse, coming from Fresno State. Tell me about Who Dat Nation. What's the difference? What do you like about the people down there in New Orleans?
What's been amazing is, the people of New Orleans, like, literally just treat you like family. And everywhere we go, everyone's checking, like, how's Dallas? And I'm like thinking, do I know them? It's just this Southern hospitality is real. When we were out of town, we had a package show up and it was raining. Well, when we see our neighbor running in the rain, putting it in a baggie and tucking it away so it didn't get wet. Like, it's just unbelievable, the hospitality that we've received since we've been here. And the start of the season last year was tough. Like, it really was. We didn't play well. We were banged up, all these things. But that last half of the year, we started winning. We started getting healthy. And I think people around town started realizing what we potentially could be. And so, having that and then hopefully getting off to a fast start this year will just carry over into all those good feelings, because the people here have been unbelievable. And as you know, the Superdome is one of the greatest places to play. I mean, it is rocking. The Who Dat chant, when we score a touchdown and that music starts playing for that kickoff team, like there's nothing like it.
Last two for me, Derek. And thank you again for your time, man. It's great to see. I still think you need to get a razor, man, and get rid of that freaking beard. Dennis Allen is a
Knock it off, Chucky. Come on, brother. The man got a beard, man. The man got a beard, Chucky. You need to grow one. That's what the hell you need to do. I don't think Chucky could grow a beard.
heck of a defensive coach.
He might not be able to grow. I really hate the man. Shut up. Ask the man a question. Come on.
You and we went up against him a couple years ago, and Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, you got Tyrann Mathieu, you got a lot of well-known veteran players, but you added Chase Young, pass rusher. You brought in Willie Gay from the world champion.
How you ask the man a question and thank him, thank him for being on the show and keep telling him he hate his beard. I mean, I'm confused.
What have they added and what have you seen from your defense? To me, if that group gets back rushing the passer, that can really make your job a lot easier.
Yeah, everything that you would hope Chase Young would be, he's been. Like, he's a grown man. He comes out to work every day. Great teammate. Unbelievable teammate, but he means business when he steps out on the football field. He is flying around, making plays, giving great effort, and he's someone, like, when you sign him and he gets there, you're like, man, he was number 2 pick. You're excited, and then he gets there, and then you're even more excited after you watch him practice, and that was exciting. And then you had Willie Gay, who I thought is one of the better, hop in space, read and react kind of linebackers that I've played against. And I think Willie is going to be awesome in this defense. He's playing with Pete and DeMario, on that second level. And I'm fired up for those guys. And really the thing I'm fired up the most about with not only them, but our team is the unity. You're seeing guys coming together and that tight knit group, that making that fist. And that group is, they've always been top 10, but they're trying to raise their level of expectation. They're trying to raise the bar than what it has been in the past to see what we can possibly do.
And then, you've always distributed the ball to the guy that's open. You don't discriminate. You throw the ball to tight ends, running backs, receivers. I know Olave is a very good young receiver. Rashid has had a nice start to his career. Who else is there? I got to deal with all these fantasy football owners that are on my case. Who do you like as your third and fourth receiver in this offense, Derek?
It's really interesting. We have you got A.T. Perry coming back from last season, who made some really good plays for me down the stretch. He was a big play guy for me. I always like having a guy I can throw that one-on-one jump ball back shoulder to, and he's that kind of guy. Cedric Wilson's another guy who's really been impressive. He's a pro's pro. He does everything the coach asks. He does everything the quarterback asks. Is where you need him when you want him. We got some young guys in Bub Means, Tipton. We got some really dynamic guys there that are really good after the catch, can really stretch the field for us to open up some things. And then you got our tight end, Foster Moreau. You drafted Foster. You know what he's about, and he is as locked in as ever. He's on a mission. And Juwan Johnson coming back from being hurt. Taysom Hill does everything for us. And then don't ever forget about Alvin Kamara. We talk about all those guys, and I'm telling you, Alvin's on a mission as well. And so I'm fired up for our skill group and what they can be.
That's great, man. Where are you guys going to dinner these days? Give me the top 2 or 3 spots in New Orleans that the Cars go to. I want to hear it. You going to Drago's? You going to Drago's, eat some of those oysters?
Absolutely, man. They actually had them. We were playing golf, and they had them literally sitting there. We were just sitting there munching. We were eating all of them. Drago's. Oh my goodness.
Come on, give me some place. Where do the boys like?
My boys love pizza, so they love Fat Boys. They love Fat Boys pizza. We go down there, and my neighbor, he just opened up another little Italian spot just down the street. We love Biblo's too. Biblo's Market is an amazing spot right down here off Metairie Road. We love going there. But we have not had a bad meal yet. There's also a place, I can't pronounce it, but in the Four Seasons, took Heather there for our anniversary. It was one of the most unbelievable steaks I've ever had in my life. So we have not had a bad meal since we've been here.
You tell Decker, if his dad doesn't stay healthy and shred people, I'm putting him through the spanking machine.
Yeah, sir.
And I miss you. I love you. Just for the fans out there, can you give them an impersonation of me coaching you? How was that? Let me feel you. What do you remember about Gruden in your ear?
Oh, every time. Hey, Derek, I need you to love this play, okay? We're going to go fire 2, all go. We're going to go on the quick count, all right? Hey, if you don't want to throw the yes, no, go route, just get it to Waller, all right? He'll make the play. Come on. The ball goes to the back 70% of the time. Come on, man.
A lot of things I said, obviously, aren't.
Don't forget to put the cursing in there either.
For this show. So let's end it right there. I love you, man. I'm really excited to watch you play, and you know where I am. And I'll be up there to see you soon, man. Thanks for joining me, Derek.
Yep. Love you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for.
All right, man. Shout out to Coach Chucky, man. It's good to see Coach Chucky, man, back involved online, man, to be honest with you, man. It's good to see him back doing what he do online, man. He was under the legal situation dealing with fighting the NFL. Now he's kind of that went its way. Look like the NFL is going to win that. So Chucky's getting back to doing what he do. Just lead a spanking along there, Coach Chucky. Just the spanking machine, whatever the hell that is, dog. Just lead that the hell along and just talk about it. But love Coach Chucky, man. He's like Coach Payton, but just his wilder, crazier, drunker version. Coach Payton is more conservative. Chucky is more of a Coach Payton's wilder, crazy, drunk brother. Yeah, I'm about to try to tell you, man. Chucky, all that stuff Derek Carr, he gave you the clean version because I remember hearing shit when Coach Chucky was letting them have it with all kind of. I was like, damn, he put that kind of combining curse word I never even heard before. Good Lord, Chucky. Chucky be going off. But anyway, man, yeah. But yeah, fam, just like in this interview, this was done prior to the Carolina game, so it was good energy by Derek Carr. Derek Carr dropped a lot of game. Now, the thing is, like I was saying here, a lot of the majority of the Who Dat Nation, when you come here, it's different. We ain't talking about the food, and even Derek Carr mentions that. Like, we respect people that do their jobs. You see what I'm saying? It's a blue-collar town. We putting work down here. So you come here, you're representing us the correct way. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Cool. We don't want to hear no excuses. We not about that. And recently, just talking not just about Derek Carr, but the Saints organization has been given a lot of excuses lately. We don't want to hear that because we don't come with the excuses when it's time to pay our money. We don't come with the excuse. Well, hey, listen, we gonna do. We don't come with the excuses then. So we don't want you to come with the excuses. Represent and play to the best of your ability. And whether you win or lose, we'll settle for that as long as you give a hearty, strong effort. That's what we asking for. None of this crap stuff. But I'm happy for Derek Carr for this year. Last year was tough on him. He got his ass tore up in that injury, broken ribs. He had the toe up shoulder. He had to fight through that. The Saints were shooting him up with the painkiller. This year, as you can obviously see, he's in a better place. He went through a gauntlet. He went through some difficulty. And you got an offense. And really the big key part to all of this, not to get caught and lost and everything, was the fact that the Saints did a very good hire in Clint Kubiak. Getting Clint Kubiak, getting Andrew Janocko, getting Coach Williams, the wide receiver coach, the running backs coach, getting John Benton, the offensive line coach, getting all of these offensive people that are accountable and detail-centric folks and getting them to work together to reshape and remold the Saints offense while Dennis Allen takes his hands off and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to get in the way. I'm not going to meddle. But here, take this. We'll see what they can do. Plus the pressure of the fact that if you don't win, you're gone. You're done. So good week. Week one was good. We turn our attentions to a much difficult opponent, man. Let's see what we can do with the Dallas Cowboys in their building. If we can go up there and knock them upside their head, man, we building on something. That'll be 2. And we got what after that? We got what, Philly? After that, we got our own little gauntlet to going on here. So we gotta take it 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time, family. Put our schedule up here. Get old Chucky face off of that. And this is what it looks like going forward. So just look at it like this. Test number 1, 47-10 shellacking. Test number 2, 12 o'clock Central Time, Sunday on Fox. Test number 2. Then you see the rest of them: Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Coach Payton's Denver, Chargers, then Carolina again. So we got to we gonna be tested early, and that's fine, man. Let's see what we got early, right? But test number 1 out of 18 or 17 rather is a winner. So let's see what we got going on against Dallas. Let's take this good energy into Dallas and see what we can come up with, right? I love this time of the year. Yes, Lewis, it is sped up. Yes, it is, because of time restraints, man. I speed those suckers up, man. If you sit there and listen to Dennis Allen, you want to speed it up. What's up, Mills? He said, Big Q, what's up? How about that fantasy league? Did you win, bro? Did you win? You must have won because you talking shit. I did. I wasn't looking, bro. I wasn't looking. Did you win, bro? Did you win week 1? But see, I messed up some kind of way, man. I had my cornerback. I can't. I'm gonna pull it up later. But my cornerback had like a bunch of points, man. And I was supposed to switch that dude out. Alexander, the Green Bay cornerback. I was supposed to switch him out. And I didn't do it. I'm doing so much stuff, and that dude scored like a bunch of points. So I probably would have beat you. So that's okay. You win some, you lose some, brother. But it's just one game, brother. Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, he got you a dub. Yeah. I didn't start him, man. That dude had like 100 points. No kidding, no lie. I was supposed to. I looked at before it started, but man, I'd be so busy doing everything, man. I just have to slow it down, baby. I gotta slow it down, baby, and smell the roses, baby. That's what we gotta do. All right, Richard says, famines is year 57 of the Saints. Famines. He says we have one championship by the grace of God. He says I am biased. He says I can envision the America's game in my head. Okay, good. Yeah. Do you envision it as a win? Because I think we can beat them. I don't think they're unshakable and unbreakable. I think we can beat these people. That's what I was saying. Family members call them crazy. I say, fam, the Saints can compete with any of the top 5 NFC teams you come up with. We can compete with them. He's talking, okay, the 49ers is probably the best team, right? The 49ers. And I'm like, yeah, the Saints can compete with the 49ers because we got an insight on their system. And the defense practices against a similar system. So we could probably be able to recognize a lot. So it'll be a close game. It probably will come down to who has more miscues, turnover, stuff like that at the end of the game between the Saints. But what I'm saying is that no matter who you name are the top 4 or 5 teams in the NFC, they're not throwing the Saints name up there. But I'm telling you, with the talent the Saints have, they can compete with the top teams in the NFC. We don't have any juggernauts. I mean, the closest one you probably said San Francisco, but just like I said, we can compete with them. And you'll see early on if you can compete with them, because some of the top 5 teams, some people consider Dallas, Philadelphia, those type of teams. We'll play those teams in the next several weeks. People thought Atlanta was going to be a team that would be knocking on something, and Atlanta got knocked out of that by the Steelers. Kirk Cousins looked like crap, but I don't think he'll look like that in the second week. I think those Carolina and Atlanta are going to put on better performances in this upcoming week's game. So, after you lose like that, you start tamping down, and seeing what you can adjust to. You know what I'm saying? Yes, right. English says iron sharpens iron. That's right, sir. That's absolutely right. Yeah, is that your first time playing? Oh, okay, cool, man. I'm glad you got in there, man. I'm glad you said, because I started it late because I was working on some stuff, man. I'm working on some other stuff. I'm putting a book together, family, for the family members. I'm working on a little book that I'm gathering my information, and it's like my 3rd book. No, 4th book. I wrote books before. So I'm sitting up here like working on that. I got this going on. So I'm trying to do a better job, because I think I have to, pat myself on the back, because I've done a better job in doing with my time, and it's always room for improvement. So, I do my best, man. I really do. And I'm always looking to improve. That's what I try to do. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. Big ups to the family, man. Thank y'all, man, for being here, man. Listen, we had some fun today in the stream. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow for our Patreon family members. We'll cover the latest stuff on the Saints, news, notes, and items. I'll have the all 22 film breakdown for our Patreon family members. We do that on Patreon and YouTube. For the actually the Patreon, I don't want to confuse anybody. We'll like release one show every often for our YouTube members, but we do 2 different shows. It's the Patreon show with the news for the family members, the lot content show, and then the film studies for the Patreon members. So we do a breakdown on the film that's coming out on Thursday night. So for the family members for that, and the show will be tomorrow. So we do a lot of different things. I try to keep it real for the family members and keep it funky. Yeah. So Fantasy League is fun, man. I started playing it like 5 or 6 years ago. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't got time for this. But then it's fun. For my ladies and all that, y'all, if y'all never play Fantasy League, try it. It's fun, man. It's pretty fun. So I've started, I think, the Sports Coma Fantasy League. I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years now, I want to say. So, I mean, it's actually pretty fun. All right. So anyway, we're going to get out of here on that. Listen, appreciate y'all. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I ain't hold y'all for 2 and 3 hours like Tasha and Pammy and not Pammy, Tasha and others were kind of making fun of me in the chat, saying I'm like old Baptist minister. I ain't going to hold y'all too long. And then 4 or 5 hours later, he's still preaching. I ain't do y'all that tonight. Now, usually sometimes I do that. But tonight I didn't do it, baby. I didn't do it. So an hour and 35 minutes is not bad. All right. So with that being said, man, I'm going to cut out on that, man. I'll see y'all on the Patreon stream tomorrow. For the rest of the family members that's not Patreon members, help out the platform. You can hit the link in the description section below. It'll take you to our link tree with all of our links, merch links, all that kind of stuff. I got some new merch, family, that's coming up. Is it this weekend? I think it's this weekend. We got some merch coming up this weekend. Some new merch that's going to be released for the Saints. Y'all gonna love it. And we have that. We'll release it probably on Saturday or something like that. It'll be like the Saturday before the game, something like that. We'll we'll have a notification for that. But it's gonna be pretty cool. All right. So anyway, with that being said, man, I'm out. Listen, y'all keep y'all heads up, man. Great win by the Saints, man, on week 1. Excellent performance all together, man. Let's get another one. Let's get another one against the Cowboys. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Peace. And who that tell you?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you can probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get on our winner-takes-all $300,000 NFL pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat too.